कंटेम्प्रेरी सेंटर्स ऑफ पावर में हमारा नेक्स्ट टॉपिक आता है चाइनीज़ इकोनॉमी। ना चाइना एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर की तरह काम करता है कंटेम्प्रेरी वर्ल्ड पॉलिटिक्स में। एंड जो ग्रोथ चाइना की इकोनॉमी ने वर्ल्ड के अंदर दिखाई है वो ग्रोथ किसी भी और कंट्री की इकोनॉमी ने नहीं दिखाई है। China was the only socialist country that didn't have to go through shock therapy. उन्होंने जो मॉडल चूज़ किया चाइना ने, दैट मॉडल of development is very different from other models, other countries, and that is the reason जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हमने चाइना की इकोनॉमी में देखा है वो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हमने कहीं पर भी नहीं देखा है। अपनी पावर को बढ़ाया है, दैट इज़ एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी, दैट हैज़ नो अदर example in the world. So this makes studying about China a very important factor in our contemporary world politics. चाइना की इकोनॉमी की जब हम बात करते हैं तो चाइना की इकोनॉमी का ट्रांजिशन सिर्फ एक दिन में नहीं आ गया था. It took many years for this transition. Now, this transition started when there was a civil war before 1949. जब there was Kai Shek's Nationalist Party and the Chinese Communist Party of Mao Zedong, which were having an ideological split between them, and ultimately Chinese Communist Party won and they made People's Republic of China, जो कि was a very controlled party, controlled form of government they set up, where everything was centrally planned. Economic system was under strict control and even the economy was under the strict control with very limited private business and foreign trade. Everything was state owned and a very controlled system of economy was being followed in China. This controlled system changed when there was a turning point in 1978 under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping. Now, China introduced economic reforms like reform and opening up. Now, they had realized that with this controlled system, they cannot have a world say. They wanted to be world traders. So they wanted to having some kind of opening up in their economy. So they introduced some reforms. First was to reduce the state control over agriculture. Now, जो चाइना ने जो अपने डेवलपमेंट को लेकर स्ट्रैटेजी बनाई थी दैट वाज वेरी डिफरेंट, लाइक आई सेड. नाउ व्हाट दे डिड वाज दे नेवर ओपनड देयर इकोनॉमी लाइक most of the socialist country did in the shock therapy. What they did, they opened up their economy in phases. What they did first was they tried to have a good agricultural produce. जो एग्रीकल्चर का प्रोड्यूस था दे ट्राइड एंड मेड ग्रेटर प्रॉफिट्स विद देयर एग्रीकल्चर, and when they had good profit in their agricultural products, they had grew their agricultural sector. Then they reduced their state control over agriculture, and when they had enough profit to invest, they started to invest this agricultural surplus in their business, in their industries. So at the next level they allowed the private businesses to grow, and in the last phase they invited the foreign investment. When their country was completely ready for the foreign investment, when they were ready to compete with the foreign market, at the third phase they opened up their markets. So China's global trade opened up when China was actually ready for the trade to give competition to the world. At that point of time they opened up their market for the foreign traders to have business with them. So it proved to be very fruitful for China. Like most of the countries, China never opened all of its areas for the foreign investment. He adopted a very special system called special economic zones, where he invited foreign investors or foreign companies to invest. Like these were your special economic zones that were designated only for the companies to invest and manufacture goods. Now, these zones became a center for the rapid industrial growth. चाइना को इससे एक कंट्रोल्ड लिबरलाइजेशन की हेल्प मिल सकी एंड चाइना हैड opened up its economy, but the opening up was totally in his hands, in his government's hand, which proved to be very beneficial for China. If I talk about China's power, the major power that China has is its manufacturing power. Now, China is called a world's factory. China has a large scale production, it has a cheap labor, and infrastructure has been formed in such a way that it boosts the power of production. So Chinese products have entered the market and they are literally capturing the markets all over the world. So China as a world factory, it has a tremendous power. No country can ignore this power of China. Everything that you want to be made can be made in China at a very reasonable prices, and this makes China a very good part of investment, a very appealing area for investment to the foreign markets. Next power that China holds in contemporary world politics, it is power of trade and global integration. Now, China has joined World Trade Organization in 2001, and since then it has been a very important member of this organization. It has increased its access. This has increased its access to global markets tremendously. Foreign companies are investing heavily in China right now, and China is the most appealing market for the foreign investment right now. Every country wants to have investment in China. China's economic influence can't be ignored in the world. It has become one of the world's largest economy. It has a growing GDP of around 20.85 trillion and have an annual growth of around 4.5 to 5%, which is a very good number in the terms of economic growth. It has actually become a major influence in the global trade and investment policies that have been made, and Chinese currency has gained an international importance right now. It has become a big currency for the world, and even the new system that China has been giving loans to the countries has even gained its economy a great new dimension which have not been present in the past. If we talk about political and diplomatic influence of China, China's economic strength has increased its role in the world politics. Now, the role that its economy is playing, the strength that its economy has shown, जिसकी वजह से वर्ल्ड पॉलिटिक्स के अंदर चाइना का रोल बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुका है. जो ट्रेड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स एंड द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर projects that China has been undertaking, it has grown its relations to the world. Every country wants Chinese help or Chinese technology in their country, and everyone has been having trade or investments project with China to grow and develop their own country. Even the initiative like Belt and Road is a kind of a new Silk Road. It is being said that after this initiative, China's economic growth will also increase because it will be connecting around 150 countries, and even sea routes are connecting in this Belt and Road initiative. Now, next topic that we study is the military and strategical power of China. Economic growth of China has modernized its defense capacities. Like I said कि टेक्नोलॉजी के अंदर जब हम चाइना की ग्रोथ देखते हैं तो वो बहुत एक बड़ा गैप हमें नज़र आता है बाकी कंट्रीज़ की टेक्नोलॉजी और चाइना के. तो सेम वे डिफेंस capabilities के अंदर भी China has shown tremendous growth. It has a larger standing military right now. Its navy fleets, its AI warfare, it's outstanding. It's comparable to most of the most powerful countries of the world right now. It has become an important military power, especially in Asia and globally. अगर हम एशिया की बात करें, it is the only most powerful country in Asia, and globally also China has shown its military power, and its technology is far better than any other European countries. Maybe not by far America, but yes, यूरोपियन कंट्रीज से अगर हम कंपेयर करें तो चाइना हैज़ अ वेरी गुड military and naval fleet, and the AI warfare of China It is tremendous. हम इस बात से इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते कि चाइना हैज़ नेवर फेस्ड एनी challenges. There are certain challenges that China has been facing. First is the growing inequality. There are striking inequalities between the regions. Some regions like the special economic zones which were made, उनके अंदर जो डेवलपमेंट है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है और कई एरियाज़ के अंदर डेवलपमेंट इज़ वेरी मिनिमल. सो द डिफरेंस दैट वी सी बिटवीन दीज एरिया इज स्ट्राइकिंग difference between these areas. Now, the environmental problems are also actually rapid industrialization की वजह से उनकी environmental problems बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुकी हैं. The amount of toxic gases that they are emitting and the amount of pollution that has been made in their areas and especially in their rivers, it is a major concern for the people living in China. Third is the aging population. Now, China had a policy of one child, because of which now the major part population of China, being even after being a labor country, right now the aging population is their major concern. They don't have young people, young minds to run their country. Now, next is the trade tensions with the other economies. Yes, there are many tensions from China, other countries, especially trade tensions, and even the political tensions with China, which is most of the countries do not like their foreign policies. But yes, because of their trade presence, and the country cannot ignore China. But yes, relations, most of the countries do not have cordial relations with China. China's rise is one of the biggest changes that we have seen in the contemporary politics. This change through the economic reform and the manufacturing trade and the technology and the global investment that China has been making, it has become a center of world politics and a major player of world politics right now. It has an economic, political, and strategical influence over the world which cannot be ignored by any country. So, the major player right now in the contemporary world politics is China, and its power is even growing in the coming years and will be seen tremendous growth in its power when we will be studying about the next chapters in our politics.